Hi everybody, Jo here again. Thanks for popping in today. Always lovely to come in and just spend some quality time crafting with you. Now, I'm going to get on with my calendar if you don't mind. I know the last two videos we've done our calendar, but I'm so excited about getting it and I just want to get a couple under my belt. Do you ever feel like that when you get something new? So I thought today we'd do March. And I wasn't quite sure in my head what to do for March. Sometimes I have an idea, sometimes I'm not so sure. So what I've done is today I think I'll take inspiration from the printed design at the base. So I looked in my stamps, and this is a great way because it makes you look at older stamps, and I found the lovely Starburst set. Look. So I'm thinking I'm going to use those and actually have my design around these. So that's given me the inspiration to start. And I'm going to go for blues. We used sort of reds and greens in our February, didn't we? So I'm thinking blue would be nice when I turn the page, ready for March. So that's my idea. Got some copy paper underneath. And I'm just going to angle it slightly. So I'm just going to check you can still see. Just because for me, I'm going to start my stamping. I'm just going to put a bit of protection here because I don't want to get ink on here. And then I think we'll start. So when I was looking at my stamps, I found this fabulous dragon pod as well. And I thought this one will go beautifully with the Starburst. So I'm just going to put that on my block, and I've looked out some colours of ink, and for my blue tones I'm going to stamp in my Versafine Clair, and I've gone for Twilight as my darker, and then I've got, oh, they would be the wrong way, wouldn't they, Murphy's Law, Warm Breeze for my lighter colour, and then Paradise for my mid-tone, and they're the three that I've selected, so we'll pop them there. And I'm going to start with this larger. The dragon pod comes in two sizes. And I'm going to use my deeper colour. That's the Twilight. Ink up the whole thing. And in fact, I think I'll just put a piece of copy paper here. Just because I don't want to stamp further than that. You know what? Thinking about it, a piece of Lavinia masking tape. I'm thinking our low-tack Lavinia masking tape, I think, would be a better just there. Right, and we'll still have that there. Right, as we were. Now, just in case, it's a warm day here, so just in case my ink's dried up a little, we'll add a little bit more. And we'll pop the first one here, I think. Now we're ready. Could have thought that through. Mind you, I'd have been upset if I'd have stamped it first, wouldn't I? That would have been worse. Oh, that's beautiful. I like that. So I'm just going to give that a wipe, get my inky binky, and we'll just move on to the smaller one. I love the contrast in sizes. Same colour. I have a plan, you see, in my head. You know what it's like in my head. So let's have a deeper one there. And then let's just go second generation and alter the height. Pretty colour, isn't it, second generation? And then I just want, so this is my clump here is what I'm thinking, but often we get the odd one, don't we? Now it needs to be a different height, so let's pop it there. And this is just a little seedling in my head that's just gone over there. Maybe just a sneaky little, yeah. Just build up that, yeah. So, and yes, I am talking to myself a lot today. It's one of those days. I think we'll stop with the dragon pods, but we'll come in with the Starburst. And again, this comes in two sizes. So we'll move on to the Paradise ink. just a bit overzealous. I've just caught some ink on the side, so off camera I'm just wiping that off. So we'll have this one here, I think. And then maybe little second generation there. I love using my different colours of my Versafine Clair. I bet you've built up quite a collection now as well, haven't you? Should we have another one here? Then let me stand back, look at balance. Thinking maybe one here. But let's move on, there's a smaller one. Let's move on to the smaller one. Now again, if you wanted to angle the stems, obviously you can. Right, let me think. I'm thinking maybe that would look good just growing in here. And then maybe just a mere suggestion of one just at the base there. Yeah, I think I'm going to stop with that. So let's turn it round so we can have a look. Yeah. So we need a little bit more, excuse me, to just fill in there, don't we? So what I'm thinking is, one of my favourite stamps, as you know, is the seed heads. And this comes in two. And I'm thinking of using the solid one. And I might go back to the twilight and just add a couple of these. Excuse me. I don't want to overdo it, but I'm just thinking where we've got a space here, look. And then a little bit of just a couple in second there. And I think that just adds to the shape. And I'm wondering if we can get one in here, look. Well, let's go for it, let's see. Sorry. I've got a glass of water. I'll just have a quick, if you excuse me. You know this dodgy throat. Right. Now, a little bit maybe there. Do we want a little bit here? I think just a little bit peeping through there. I'm hesitating slightly. I'll explain why. I don't want to overdo it. I want it to look natural but not overdone. You know, I'm always saying about pizzas. We don't want any pizzas, do we? So I may just stop with that. I'm thinking I can always come back to it because my plan is at the base to add a little bit of the field grass and go for the lighter colour, the warm breeze, just to add some sort of wispiness to the design. So I think we'll stop that there and just add a little bit of this field grass. And just see, again, it's all about building it up. Take your time. The beauty with the field grass is it's such a wispy stamp. The orchard grass, the little sister one, she's a good infiller as well. And I think they just add something when you need a bit of something, but you don't want to overcook it. We don't want to take away from our lovely main feature here. Now what I am going to do, both the orchard and the field grass are really good for this. So I'm just cleaning my stamp. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ink up just this top bit here. And then I'm just going to stamp this so it almost looks, and it's nice because you can use second, third generation look, and it looks nice and wispy. You know when you get the grass in the distance. But the lovely thing is you don't need to ink up the whole stamp. So we can just add a bit. So here, we want to just build up a bit of So that grass is really wispy up there. It's grown up that side. Yeah, I like that shape. Right. I'm going to stop with that and have a little look. Now, I'm thinking we could do with a couple of little fairies on here. So I've got my fairy forages set out, look. I'm going to take my stamps off because I'm going to use my acetate just to see. And I'm thinking, I think she'll look nice there. But I need one the opposite way, don't I? So maybe, wonder if she could look like she's... Oh yeah, that would work, wouldn't it? See, I could, or could I put her there? She might look better there. I know. So again, you can use this to just change your mind. So you see, I can't decide that. I think I might go for that. Right, decision made. Right, no more faffing. Now, normally I would stamp these in black, but I think we'll go with our twilight, just to keep it all with the blue tones. So we'll have our lady with the lamp. I've just got a little bit of ink on my block, so and I'm thinking, let's pop her there. And again, she's a silhouette, so I'm just going to hold her down. That sounds awful, doesn't it? Sorry, no fairies were hurt in this. And then give that a quick wipe. And then come in with our other lovely fairy. And again, give her a good ink. And I'm thinking we're just going to add her here. And again, give her a good... Yeah, so she's just... Yeah, I like that. So what we'll do is we'll give that a blot. Again, Versafine Clair, slower drying ink. So let's give it a blot. And then we're going to add a little bit of colour, I think, with our elements. So I'm going to tidy up a little bit. And I'm going to come in, I've got Blue Atoll, Della Blue and some Midnight Blue. And I thought I'd use a combination of the three. So I'll start with the Della Blue. I'm going to leave my tape in place. Again, I always take off in the lid. And I'm thinking I just want to build up a bit of sort of a blue sort of aura, a bit of a hue around my design. So I'm taking some off in the lid and just gently, and I'm hardly holding my stencil brush. I'm very gently. And I just want to almost take the whiteness off the page. And that's why I blotted that Versafine Clair ink, because obviously it would smudge if I did it straight away. It certainly would for me. And I'm just coming around the foliage. Now again, if you've got a new ink pad, be mindful they are fabulous and juicy, but you may just need to take quite a bit of ink off. And it probably won't show up much on camera, but that is just taken that edge off. And then I'm going to move to the Blue Atoll, and this will show up better. Again, take some off in the lid, and this time I'm going to come in at the base and really add some colour right along the base. A little bit more. Right, let's take this off. Let's have a look. Peels off beautiful, the Lavinia. And I love that contrast there. So what I'm thinking, adding a little bit of colour. So what I'm going to do is come in. Now again, it's a deep breath before doing this. I'm going to get my Midnight Blue with my smaller stencil brush now, the number 3. And I just want to darken the edge of these lovely pods. Now again, you could use your watercolour pencils for this. I'm just using this brush and just adding some ink And again, I went for the paler, first ink there, second there. So again, this one's stamped first generation, so I use the first bit of ink. I've got one there, just to add a little bit of depth, without, I don't want to add too much colour. I like it as it is. But what I am thinking is these lovely, we could add a little something down here to bring the whole design together. So what I could do is, have I got my landscape masks? Yes, my hill masks. Quick find. Let's come in with the blue atoll and just add a little bit underneath, look. Doesn't need a lot, look at that, really pretty. And then just add a little bit with what's left on my brush. So this is the Della Blue, I'm just going round. And then that Midnight Blue, let's just add a little bit, oh I know, just a tiny at the base. Just again to change that colour tone. Now, and I think that just ties the two in without being too much. See, I'm hesitating because I'm thinking I could stamp a fairy down here, couldn't I? But then I'm thinking I've not got much room. I'm going to leave that. I may come back and do that. I'm being perfectly honest with you. I might come back and do that. I don't want to spoil it. So I'm going to sit, and often I do this at home, I'm going to sit and look at the design. So a couple of little finishing tricks. We like our finishing tricks, don't we? And let's add a little bit of sparkle. So I'll come in with some, just some Posca, see, I can't wait to use the Posca, the Stickles, and we're just going to paint some stickles with a water brush, just because I want this tiny little bit here. If you heard some creaking, it's Eric, he's just knocked a pack of card blanks over on the floor, so I just picked it up, it was lying on him. I think just a little bit of sparkle on the grasses. I don't want to over sparkle it, but bless him, poor Eric is in the wars at the minute. He's had to have some x-rays and they've discovered he's got bone disease in his jaw, so he's need to have some teeth out. Poor little chap. He's got an autoimmune disease, which is why he's gone white. If ever you see him at workshops, his hair's gone anyway, his coat's gone white on his back. They don't know why. So, but he's happily snoring under my table, so he's fine. Right, so as I say, that's just a water brush, just to paint the stickles on so I can get them exactly where I want them. Wipe that up. And then we'll come in with the white Posca and we'll just add some little highlights. I always think this makes them pop. And again, maybe just a little bit up there and on there. Then I'm thinking for my splats. Now again, I know there are some of you that don't like these, so you leave yours. Yours is done. Happy with yours. I've got the glittery, the sparkly blue. And just to keep it all tone on tone, so we'll give it a good shake. And so again, you could leave it like that. I just want to add a little bit up here, round here. And again, I'm holding my pen quite low next to the calendar, so I can almost focus exactly where I get these splatters. And then what I'm going to do to keep the two a nice cohesive design, we'll have a few little splatters around this here. And as I say, should I wish to add my fairy, I'm thinking about that. So I'm leaving that one parked up as an idea. And sometimes I do think it's best to just leave things and wait and see how you feel. I don't want to spoil it. So there's March. Now, you could, as I say, use your watercolour pencils and add more colour. You could decoupage these, but just be aware when you're decoupaging in your calendar, obviously we decoupage the hearts. I could feel it when I was stamping. Yes, I could open it up to stamp, but I haven't got enough room to do that, in all honesty. So that is something I'm going to be mindful of. So there's my March with my lovely little, I may just add that fairy, you know. What do you think? I tell you what, I'm going to leave it with you, and I'm going to wait and see. Leave me some comments, please. Let me know. Let's be interactive. Do you think I need to add the fairy or not? And I'll count them up, and then I'll go with what you say. So it's in your hands, the power. Anyway, thanks for joining me again. I'll get your coat and I'll see you out. Pop back again soon. Bye for now.